You know, the worst thing in a relationship isn't betrayal. It's habit. The habit of tolerating people who don't value you. People who, for years, use your kindness, your time, and your resources, only to give you indifference or even ridicule in return. I've been there myself. I had people I considered friends, people I helped, rescued, and supported. Then one day, it hit me. For them, I was just a convenient option. Today, we're going to break down 7 tough but effective ways to handle those who do and appreciate you. This isn't just theory. This is what's really happening in our world today, where people often forget to say thank you and take kindness for granted. We live in a society where tolerance is often praised as a virtue. Don't hold grudges. Forgive him. He's a good person. You just have to learn to live with it. Sound familiar? But here's the problem. The more we tolerate, the less we're respected. And these aren't just my words. Carl Jung once said, "What you do not make conscious controls your life." If you've been ignoring the feeling of being undervalued for years, that's not humility, it's self-deception. And sooner or later, it will turn into resentment, depression, or even physical illness. So, let's dive into the methods and strategies for dealing with those who don't value you. The first step is both the simplest and the hardest. Just stop being available. This method is called stop contact. It's time to finally stop giving them bonuses. Stop doing the things that make you so convenient for them. Cancel the help, the gifts, the emotional support. Often, people only start valuing you when they lose their usual privileges. This means you don't need to text them first. You don't need to call just because. And you certainly shouldn't offer help unless they ask for it directly. It's been proven that 80% of these people won't even notice you're gone. But the ones who do, they'll start behaving differently. Take back your convenience. Were they using you as a free taxi? Your new answer is, "Sorry, I can't today." No explanation needed. Did they use you as an emotional shoulder to cry on? Stop being a free psychologist. Did they only call when they needed something? From now on, you're always busy. And like I said, 80% of these people won't even notice your disappearance. They'll simply find another convenient person to use. And that's a fantastic filter. Now you know exactly who didn't value you in the first place. But what about the other 20%? These are the ones who might ask, "What happened? Where did you go?" These are the people you can potentially work with. Maybe they'll genuinely start respecting you. The key is that people only value what they fear they might lose. As long as you're always available, you're like air to them, invisible but necessary. Once you disappear, they either start to suffocate and finally appreciate you, or they find different air. And if that's the case, you have nothing to regret. And if you're thinking this sounds like manipulation, it's not. It's setting boundaries. If a person truly cares about you, they will notice your absence. And if they don't, then you've just freed up space in your life for people who will truly value and appreciate you. The second method is to compare their behavior with others. Remember how this person communicates with those they truly respect. With their boss, they're polite, attentive, always available. With people they need, they smile, keep the conversation going, and never arrive late. And with you, they answer in one word and forget what's important to you. Now, ask yourself a simple question. Would they behave this way with someone they truly respect? If the answer is no, then it's not your fault. It's their choice. And here's what's so important to understand. This person is capable of respect. They know how to respect, but they are consciously choosing not to respect you specifically. This isn't an accident. It's not tiredness. And it's definitely not. That's just how they are. This is their attitude towards you. The sooner you see this, the sooner you'll stop wasting your precious energy on someone who doesn't want it. When you look at a person in comparison, you see the real, unvarnished picture without any illusions. Because respect is always an action. It's in the tone of voice, The words chosen, the attention given, the priorities set, the effort made. If they can do all of this with others, but not with you, the reason isn't your inadequacy. It's their attitude. And when you finally understand this, a deep inner calm begins to settle in. You stop blaming yourself. You stop making excuses for them. And you stop hoping that one day they'll have some grand realization. No, people understand perfectly well what they are doing. You are simply not in the category of people they are willing to make an effort for. And this is where the most important part begins. You stop fighting for the attention of someone who will never give it to you freely. This means you free up space in your life for those who will value you from the very beginning, without conditions or reservations. You create an opening for genuine connection. The third method is to stop justifying their behavior. This is one of the most destructive habits we can fall into. We constantly look for excuses for those who don't value us. Oh, he's just tired. She has a lot of problems right now. He didn't mean to hurt me. That's just her personality. He doesn't know how to express his emotions. But do you know what the harshest truth is? When a person truly loves or respects you, they learn. They learn to express emotions. They learn to be attentive. They learn not to hurt you. They learn how to be present. And if they aren't learning, it means they don't care enough to try. Understand that making excuses isn't about kindness. It's about fear. It's the fear of accepting the truth, the fear of losing someone, the fear of being alone. But any lie you tell yourself is a debt you will eventually have to pay, and the currency is always pain. So start observing their actions, not their words. And if you catch yourself trying to find light where there is none, it's a clear sign you're already in a relationship where you are being undervalued. Remember this. Being honest with yourself is not cruelty. It is liberation. The moment you stop inventing excuses for them, you begin to see who is actually standing in front of you. And that's when the confusion disappears, the illusions shatter, and the pure, simple truth remains. It might be unpleasant at first, but that truth gives you the strength to finally move on. Here is method 4 for dealing with people who don't value. Limit their access to you. Now, this doesn't mean you ghost them or disappear completely. It just means you're closing your open door policy. Think about it. People value what isn't just lying around for everyone to take. When you stop giving away your energy for free, you suddenly have so much more of it for yourself and for the people who actually deserve it. So, what does this look like in practice? Keep your communication to a neutral minimum. Don't overshare personal things. Don't open your soul to someone who doesn't even bother to treat it with care. Someone who doesn't value you isn't suddenly going to start valuing your vulnerability. In fact, it's often the opposite. They'll either ignore it or, even worse, use it against you. So let your emotions, your news, and your inner world become a privilege, not a free resource. When you limit access, people finally see a boundary. They finally realize you are not their unlimited battery, not a universal first aid kit, and definitely not a 24/7 support hotline. You have your own life, and it does not have to revolve around them. And this is where the truth comes out. If nothing changes in their behavior, well, that tells you everything you need to know. That's how they've always felt about you. But if they suddenly become more attentive, more respectful, it means your distance worked. Sometimes just stepping back a little bit is enough for someone to realize that yes, they can respect you. They just never felt the need to before. Which brings us to method 5, and this one is a game changer. Stop trying to prove your worth. This is one of the toughest traps to fall into. When someone undervalues you, there's this natural instinct to want to prove them wrong. You find yourself thinking, look how good I am. Look how hard I'm trying. Look how lucky you are to even have me. So you do more. You endure more. You help more. All in the hope that they will finally see your value. But here is the hard truth. Worth isn't proven worth is recognized. If someone doesn't see your care, your effort, or your support right now, they're not going to see it later either, no matter what you do. For people who don't value you, anything you do for them will always be seen as normal or nothing special. It's just expected. The issue isn't how much you give. It's about who you're giving it to. So stop proving. Stop trying to earn their respect. Stop begging for crumbs of appreciation. People who truly appreciate you will see your value immediately, without any presentations, without you having to explain yourself, and without you feeling like you have to deserve their basic decency. And you know what happens next? As soon as you stop chasing after those who don't value you, all that energy you were spending comes flooding back to you. You start to grow again. You regain your strength, your focus, and your momentum. And the people who remain in your life will be the ones who see you not as a convenience, but as a person, a real, important, and valuable person. And isn't that what we all deserve? All right, let's talk about the sixth method to stop people pleasing. Do not be afraid to lose those who are not afraid to lose you. Now, this is probably the most painful, but also the most liberating principle you'll ever learn. So often, we find ourselves holding on tightly to people who have long since stopped holding on to us. We're afraid to let go because it feels like without them, everything will become empty, lonely, and just plain difficult. But let's be brutally honest with ourselves for a moment. It's already difficult. The difficulty isn't coming from the person being absent. It's coming from their attitude towards you. The moment you stop clinging, you take back your power. You stop being dependent. You stop waiting by the phone. You stop enduring disrespect. And the most surprising thing happens. When you stop fearing loss, you finally begin to see people for who they really are. If a person stays in your life after you stop chasing them, it means they genuinely value you. If they leave, well, it means they were never worth fighting for in the first place. You have to remember, sometimes a loss isn't a minus, it's a release. It's not a failure, but a transition to a new level of your life. It's not loneliness. It's the beginning of a brand new chapter where you finally choose yourself. This leads us right into the seventh method. Invest in those who invest in you. It sounds so simple, right? But it's one of the most powerful principles for a happy life. We spend way too much of our precious time on people who couldn't care less, and far too little on those who genuinely care about us. Just take a moment and look around you. Who texts you first? Who genuinely asks how you are and waits for the real answer? Who was there for you when things got tough? Who celebrated your victories with you instead of feeling envious? These are your people. These are the people you should be giving your time, your energy, and your attention to. Because relationships are always an exchange. They don't have to be perfectly equal in quantity, but they must be equal in respect. When you start investing in those who truly value you, you become stronger, calmer, and more confident. You start to build a circle of people who don't drain your energy, but multiply it. And gradually, your life fills up with people who make you feel at ease, who are honest, and who bring warmth into your world. And you know what happens next? You'll stop even remembering those who didn't value you. Why? Because you're now surrounded by people who give you what you truly deserve. Now, let's get to the main point of all this. Stop fighting for a place in someone else's life. It's a battle you were never meant to win. Those who want to be with you will be. Those who value you will show it. And those who respect you will prove it with their actions, not just empty promises. Your time is your most valuable resource. Your energy is not infinite. And your heart is not a storage unit for people who only show up when it's convenient for them. But here's the moment almost no one notices. The second you stop holding on to those who don't value you, you will feel an incredible sense of relief. The constant anxiety will just disappear. The tension in your shoulders will fade. The endless waiting will be over. And in its place, space will appear. Space for people who will be sincerely by your side, for those who respect your boundaries, for those who see your worth without you needing to provide proof or meet conditions. Because true respect doesn't start with them. It starts with your decision not to tolerate those who don't see you. Your decision not to make excuses for them. Your decision not to forget yourself for the sake of someone who has already forgotten about you. You deserve relationships where you are welcomed, where you are considered, and where you are cherished. And the very first step toward that beautiful life is to stop holding on to people who will never, ever give you that. So, let me ask you this. Who are you keeping in your life longer than they deserve? Think about it. If you want more honest breakdowns about people and relationships, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.